as he rips that doorway off, immediately afterwards, everybody make me an intelligence save.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm proficient in this. Not very worth it, though.
I would have liked to,
Oh,
like,
nice. Look at that.
take a small nap before that happened.
Yeah.
That's an hour.
I would love a little nap right now.
Okay. So.
Me and Eric die
It
because
seemed like a great idea.
Yeah. So, hey, Starboy let his anger be known, or his worry.
So for 3 rounds, Eric and Luca are stunned. You can't do anything. You're stunned.
nice.
You drop what you're holding. You stand there stupefied. You can barely perceive what's going on around you. You can kind of defend yourself, but you are completely stupefied and stunned as all of a sudden a wave of emotions, of fears, of excitement, of just raw mental thought rushes over you completely. Kieran, as this same exact wave of energy rushes over your mind, you just are seeing that the door is open, seeing it's there. As soon as it hits your mind, you just put yourself deep within a storm. The most intense electrical storm you can think of, which happened not that long ago, as a matter of fact. Happened less than a month ago. When you were inside of a storm, the eye of it, and you felt energized by it, you put your mind back there, and it literally forced those waves to go traveling through that hurricane, and it disperses them easily. Stalbor, you, however, feel these waves coming your way. It's a new type of energy you've never experienced before in your life. But when this happens, you just put yourself into the woods. You literally lose yourself deep into your mind, into the reserves of your mind, back down deep in the wells of Aranel. Ways that you were taught to do long before, despite the fact that you've never encountered anything where you would need to. It's almost like old training from 100 or more years ago.
It's like Inception. I've been trained against being incepted.
Yeah.
There's all these spies in my brain.
So,
I've seen that movie.
Yes, Inception, absolutely. Several times, and I own it. It's beautiful. So, moving on. When that happens, the two of you completely stupefied. Kieran and Stalbor, you guys can roll initiative if you would like.
Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oop.
Oh, I didn't press my token. I'm a bad boy.
I didn't either.
You bad
Oh.
people. You guys Eric'd it.
That's not Ericing. That's a different thing altogether. That's just being called
Do I
an
reroll?
idiot. I rolled, but I'll change it back to 10.
There we go. And I got a... Okay.
This is just not what I want at all. I don't want Kieran going first in this situation, okay? I just don't want this at all.
Hold on, I didn't roll yet. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. My mouse
Either
is
way,
acting all
Kieran's
mousy.
going before Stalbor, and that's a bad idea. Because she's going in that hole. She's gonna find that monster.
Hey!
A piece of her mind.
That's okay. It's not so bad. All right, let's reorganize this. That person's going first. And so as they go first, the first thing that's going to happen is you guys see, they literally stands there for a moment. And as they stand there, you smell sulfur and you taste sulfur. Like literally, like you know that smell as burning sulfur happens, you can taste it in your mouth. You can smell and taste the sulfur, and you actually hear a burning flame happening, despite the fact that you don't see anything like that and you don't feel any heat like that. And you can, the one thing that you can see is like a rippling effect in the air immediately in front of you, and then almost like a huge wave or some sort of force that you can barely perceive, just as a rippling effect in the air, comes rushing out of this hole at the two of you with full might. Make me either a dexterity save to dodge out of the way or a strength save to fight against it.
I wonder what we'll choose.
Yeah, we are not strong peeps.
Awesome.
Kieran has a sword.
So neither one of you are able to jump out of the way in time as this thing comes flying outwards, and so this wave of force hits the two of you with.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna roll a I'm gonna roll an action point.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a smart
crap.
idea.
17.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
should have
a
been using
very
action
smart
points.
idea.
I
Ollie,
forgot
roll a
about
one.
action points.
Ollie, roll a one. Ollie.
I got a 3, bitch.
Oh, motherfucker. Hold on, is that... Actually, it's not high enough. Ha.
No,
So-
I kind of figured. That.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. It's literally one shy of what you needed. So the wave of force comes flying outwards. Kieran, once again, you feel this wave coming out, and you are able to see it coming, and you do this jump to the side, moving quicker than you should. Once it's still feeling these electronic energies coming through your body, you jump to the side, and the wave comes by, smacking your shoulder, kind of jolting you backwards, but not moving you whatsoever. However, Stalbor, much like a floating disc turned sideways, it comes out and it hits you full on. As it smashes you in the face, you take 2d6 points of what's it called? Bludgeoning damage.
Great.
And you are thrown backwards 20 feet and thrown prone.
Fuck.
Okay? After that happens, he stands there for a second, and at this point in time, he hasn't really moved. He stands there for a second, and he holds his hand out, and you can see he's really concentrating on something. As he's really concentrating on whatever that is, Kieran, you start to see little flecks of light and sparkling happening around the tunnel around
It's
him.
gonna explode.
Stalbor, by the time you finally sit up and look that way as well, you also see little flecks of light and sparkling happening inside there. You have no idea what it is. It's now next person. Kieran, it's your turn.
All right. Actually, I probably still have fly active at this point, right?
Yeah. I didn't make you. You haven't taken damage, so you haven't had to.
That's cool.
So Salvador is how far away from this hole?
20 feet.
That's a long way.
It's a pretty long way. So I'm gonna fly back. Just in front of him, I think.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast. Are the spikes still around me, or is it just around the whole area?
The sparkles.
Around the tree. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was actually within the hole that he is inside of. You start to see little, almost firebugs. Or,
The tree.
Within the hole that he's inside of, exactly.
The
He's trying to
tunnel
set it
inside the
on
tree where the
fire, but I
monster
think we
is.
might be far enough away now to where I'll be okay. So I cast lightning bolt towards him.
Absolutely. So you cast lightning bolt and get ready to roll your thing in 1 second. As you cast
Yep.
lightning bolt, all of a sudden all the firebugs start to swarm in front of him and swirl at an extreme speed, swirling around. And you can see the lightning is hitting them and dispersing it throughout the tunnel, hitting huge parts of the tunnel along the way. I have to make a dexterity save. Now, as that happens, Kieran, what's your it's a 14. Okay, thank you. As that happens, you can actually see that the lightning much of it is dispersed by whatever it was that he was able to do there. However, not all of it was. You throw an extreme amount of energy through there. And the amount of electricity that gets through, luckily he had enough time that he was able to move out of the way of even most of that blast. And so whatever hit him was a seriously drowned out amount to how much was thrown in.
Actually, you know what, Scott? I'm gonna empower that and re-roll my 2 ones.
Can you do that after the effect?
I can do it after I roll damage, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So it's now a 20 plus whatever you roll.
Yeah.
So
20
a
is
24. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. So he more or less will take a bit more damage. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. So awesome. So that is, as I described it, is what happens. It's now Stolly's turn. You're on your bum right now.
Stalbor will straight up get up and grab Kieran's hands, probably while she's doing the lightning bolt, burning his hands with the lightning that kind of arcs around her. Grab her, turn her, eyes to eyes, holding her hands like, it's not worth it. We need to get our friends out of here.
Okay.
And does it look like she hears that at all?
It does. I mean, she'll just kind of
Then he lets go,
Look
like
annoyed.
probably hands
Yeah.
smoking, and goes over to Reich, and Reich is still stunned, but can he still walk?
I mean,
if I could,
if you grabbed his hand and pulled him and dragged him along, he can do
he wouldn't fall.
Yeah.
he's very drunken shuffle behind you.
Yeah, I do that with Reich. I grab him. I probably sling his arms over my shoulder, and just start pulling him away. But I don't have much movement on this
As
turn.
you're doing that, you hear something in your mind, and it says, "Thank you for your understanding."
Stalbor yells, "Just get out!"
No
Which
response.
probably makes him look like a crazy person to Kieran.
No
More
response.
than normal. Yeah, I imagine that's my whole turn.
Yep. Cool.
Nice.
That brings us back to his turn, in which case he does nothing other than kind of like regaining his position after the fact that he like had to throw himself out of the way of the lightning bolt as quickly as possible. He's standing in a tunnel. She's like, of course I'm going to throw him out. You're in a tunnel. So,
yeah.
he repositions himself like prepared for something else to happen. Whatever those lightning bug things were before, they're no longer there. Whatever they were, they don't exist anymore. But he is still standing there seemingly ready for whatever. It's now Kieran's turn.
I will continue to walk away while
Awesome.
throwing a second level chromatic.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
I rolled disadvantage. It's so weird. I didn't even click on that.
You're quiet, Aaron.
No.
Oh.
She was talking into her hand. That's why.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why I did roll disadvantage on that one. I didn't even click on it. But yeah, there you go.
You throw a chromatic orb at the guy. Nice.
Nope.
I'm
That
gonna walk
actually-
away.
That actually hit,
Sorry.
no, that actually hits.
I am walking away
Yep.
while I'm doing this, and it'll be fire damage. We'll see if I can light the shit on fire.
Sure. So you throw a chromatic orb at him, and you actually do hit him, and you actually do 10 points of fire damage.
Mhm.
Okay. That is your turn.
Yep.
Okay. And after that is who? He takes
Stalbor.
the damage, like full on takes the damage. There's no.
It's Stalbor.
I'm moving
Yeah.
back.
It's Stalbor pulling
Yes,
right
but-
away.
Stalbor is pulling Reich away. Actually, he would go over to Luca and like grab him as well and pull him away as slowly as he can. And he's just staring at Kieran, like with actual anger. And that would be my turn. Just trying to lead them away, lead the sheep away.
Staring down Kieran.
Kieran, can you make me a will save, a wisdom save?
Oh no.
Oh no. Karen's not wise.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
Oh, you little jerk.
Kieran, you feel a sudden wave come over your mind that
Mhm.
you just need to stop. Like, and I don't mean stop doing what you're doing. I mean literally every muscle, every part of you tense up completely to the point where you can't move anymore. And you feel this come over your body, and as all of your muscles reflexively squeeze and tighten all at once, flex all at once, it's literally painful. However, it only lasts for a moment or two before you're once again able to have the just course of electricity running through your body, help you to regain control of your nervous system, and you're able to force through it and able to continue moving forward.
I'll just glare at the guy
Okay?
so he knows that doesn't work.
Of course. It's Kieran's turn.
Oh no. I won't do anything. I'll hold my turn.
Good.
Star Wars.
Because the next turn would have been Stalbor trying to pacify Kieran if he didn't.
So
Yeah,
what do you do?
just the same as last term. Now I have now I have Reich and Luca. I'm just trying to lead them as far away as I can with my turn. So I imagine I only move like 30 feet because I'm dragging two men.
They start to come to. They start to like, and they start to like be able to like, get control of themselves. You will hear another voice in your mind again, and I understand that you weren't a fan of that before, but you hear another voice in your mind, and it says to you, "She is a danger. She must forget." And with that, Karen, make me another wisdom save.
Stop it.
She's gonna pass
No.
again.
I am gonna
Discontinue.
use my die, though.
Action point?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's gonna help.
Probably won't.
10.
10? Okay, so your 10 does not work. The same exact thing happens to you, except this time, your muscles don't loosen. It's just extreme pain as every part of you completely freezes up and holds you still. And with that, make me a... Oh, crap, I have to double check this one. I'm so sorry. Because I'm pretty sure there's a save that
Int
goes with this.
save?
1 second.
Wild guess at what sounds like is going to happen. Please not feeble mind, though.
That would be unfortunate.
That would be very unfortunate.
Could you make me a Constitution save?
Oh, no.
Actually,
Actually, that's good. That's great.
yeah.
Okay,
Great.
And I will actually, again, use another action point just to make sure.
Sure.
26. Sorry,
Another thing happens to you as you feel a force, something that you're not familiar with, trying to lift you up and move you from where you are.
Mhm.
But when you just, once again, just use your innate magics to hold you down by literally just with your force of will and your own power, using winds to push you down. You can see the wind billowing around her and pushing her down with intense might, stopping that from being able to lift you. You only shudder slightly. Instead, he comes walking out very quickly, seemingly on top of the mud not affecting him whatsoever, walks out of the tree thing, and he's able to immediately get all the way up to where Kieran is at the distance she's made so far. That's where his turn ends, is standing immediately next to Kieran. It is now Stalbor, Luca, and Reich's turns as you see him coming out.
All right, considering they're coming too, I'd let go of them. This guy is right beside Kieran, right?
Absolutely. Do you turn your attention to him?
Yes.
Okay, if you do so, he looks at you and he gives you a look of just like this is not meant to be a joke. This is not meant to be aggressive. This is just it's clear calculation.
Yeah, I understand.
And he says to you, she is a danger she must forget, once again in your mind.
She is a danger. She's my danger. Leave her alone. I don't know what you are or why you are or anything about this stupid place. But if you hurt her, I will kill you, raise your corpse, and kill you again.
I will not harm a hair on her body.
You intend on harming her mind? I get it. You've got some weird mental things going on. I don't care. Leave her alone. She'll never come back. And if she does, you can kill her. I don't care then.
If she comes back, it could be too late.
Too late for what? Weird voodoo rituals you've got going on?
There are dangers that you couldn't even begin to understand. And he places his hand on her forehead.
I have a question. When Luca and Reich were stunned, we were completely aware of everything happening.
You were very drunkenly aware of what was happening, so it's groggily, very groggily. Mind you, he has not said a single word since you guys left the place. He's only able to do it telepathically.
Right.
I'll let one of these guys act first if they want to, but if he puts a hand on her, I charge.
You do that. He puts his hand out, just flicks open his spellbook, and just stares at the guy.
That's what you do to him. So
yeah, can I do an intimidation?
Absolutely.
Well, then I'm drawing my sword, and I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt to at least try to sell this.
Okay, so you do your intimidation, and he can tell that you're serious, that you're ready to push this on, and that your friends are coming to and whatnot. And so he'll stop. He'll actually stop from putting his hand directly on her forehead, and he'll place it, it's a little like an inch or two away. And he'll pull it back an inch. And he'll look to you and say, perhaps you would like to understand, Elf.
I'm gonna interrupt. Well, he says that in his mind, right?
You just see him looking at Ollie and his hand come back a little bit. So
as Reich's like being like a dog on a chain really quick, getting ready to rush, I see Stalbor's book out. This guy speaks in his mind. I don't hear it. So probably while he's saying it, Luca's just going to yell out like, enough. We all just need to go separate ways. And I'm going to try to not as aggressive actually. So he'd be like, we all just need to separate. And he's going to try to like
corners.
Try to de-escalate
Luca's
the
doing
situation.
a Luca thing.
Absolutely. Yep, it is a Luca thing.
Yeah. So would that be persuasion with advantage?
Yes, sir.
Luca didn't do so good. Yeah.
Action point, please.
Action points. Action points.
Okay. So
and still not very good.
With your 15, he will like listen to the words that you're saying. I mean, Stalbar, you're really fucking smart. You can tell he doesn't fully understand the words that are being said, but he definitely understands the meaning of it. You know what I mean? Like he gets it. He's not an idiot. And so he will actually lower his hand entirely. And he again looks to Stalbor and he says to you, reiterating, do you want to understand?
You would just see Stalbor just like stunned, confused, angry for a moment. And then he's just like, I just want Kieran safe. If I have to understand, then I'll understand. If that's what it takes to let us leave.
Yeah, as he said, like, I want to, like, because this guy just put his hand down after I tried to de-escalate. So I'm like, okay, he's complying. So as Stalbor's, like, in the middle, I'm, like, starting to walk slowly toward Kieran to kind of just, like, pull her away. But then Stalbor yells that out before I even get probably close enough. And I'm like, what? I don't even know what to do right now. I just freeze up for a second.
He ignores Luca and looks at Kieran like there's legitimate concern in his on his face as he looks at Kieran and walks over to Stalbor. But Kieran, you get to make another wisdom save because it's been a round.
Oh, nice.
Reich, I imagine you were just watching and waiting, right?
Yeah, I have my sword out, but it's not like in both
And
hands. I just have at the ready.
Yeah, burn through all those action points, girl.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
Yes, solid one.
Okay, so he moves.
Damn it.
He moves over. He walks over to Stalbor, and again, his face is showing everything's calculated. It's not meant to be anything. He actually will hold his hands up like this, and then he'll put them out to but with a distance to cradle around your mind, and he'll say, "Let me show you why she's a danger." In your mind.
Open your eye. Yeah. He wouldn't struggle. And actually, in the moments it takes him to walk over, knowing that this is just a logic being, more or less, he would have calmed down. And he would just let it happen.
He pulls his hands together, and it's funny because I think who has this ability in? Oh, Mathis has it in Lost Initiative. That's who I was having thinking of who has an ability that's similar. So, anyways, he slowly pulls his hands together around Jaws. What was probably a second or a second and a half feels like an eternity, even to a long-lived person like you, as his hands come around. But literally, as the third or fourth fingertip touches you to your scalp, through your hair and everything, touches your scalp, instantly, you are no longer surrounded by what you're currently surrounded by. You are standing in a void of chaos. I am not going to go ahead and describe to you what it is that you see, because what it is that you see racks the very foundation of Stalbor's understanding of the multiverse. Everything that Stalbor believes in has been turned upside down, inside out, and has just turned into this huge whirl of chaos. Literally, Stalbor is standing there, and he's got a fucking 20 intelligence. Stalbor is literally standing there and starts to drool from what it is that he's experiencing. Now, he only has his hands in Stalbor's head for about 2 or 3 seconds before he pulls them off. Stalbor, it feels like months. Could you do me a favor and roll me an intelligence save? Okay. Stalbor is very, very strong-minded, and so he's able to eventually find his mind within whatever these visions are that he's going through, and he's able to find himself understanding that he's within a vision itself. And so he actually is able to kind of pull his mind together despite the screams of chaos that are happening around him, and not audible screams. When I describe audible screams, I mean just pure chaos and visions and prophecies and past and current, everything
Emotions
pouring
and
through
all
his
that.
mind. And Stalbor is able to finally pull himself together enough to get away from it, to pull him back to the real realm of what he's literally able to see and hear and smell and taste. But everything around you doesn't sound, smell, taste, feel, nothing feels the same. Everything feels meaningless compared to what it was that you had just experienced. Everything is almost so orderly. Everything is so in perfect conditioning right now, despite the battle going on around you, that it's painful. You almost want to act out and just do the most fucking crazy thing you could possibly think of. Make me a wisdom save.
Oh, good. Kieran, Stalbor's I'm spending an action point. Stalbor's having a bad trip. I mean, that might help.
It does actually. So you're able to literally you don't even have to describe what it is, Ollie. As Stalbor's about to do the most chaotic thing he could possibly think of, he's literally starts to act upon it. He realizes that he's back. He realizes what he's doing. He realizes no, we're talking literally in the moment, no, and stops himself. You guys witness what happens to Stalbor as that plays out. Reich and Luca, how do you react to the fact that he seems to speak to Stalbor speaking to him at the very least? He touches Stalbor and he has these big reactions to it. How do you guys react to that?
Yeah, I was a reach away from Kieran.
Mhm.
So I'm reaching to Kieran to make sure she's all right, and I see the thing putting his hands to Stalbor, and I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm just gonna try to snap Kieran out of it. Would be my reaction.
Absolutely. Why don't you do me actually, you don't have to do anything. You're just going to give her advantage on her wisdom save when it's her turn next.
Okay, yeah, I'm just kind of shaking her.
Reich, what do you do?
Well,
His hands have already pulled away, by the way. His hands are already pulled away.
I can tell though that it's very different from like Karen, where Karen was obviously like forced to stand still, where Stalbor
Yeah,
allowed him
Stalbor
to
would have
approach.
relaxed and closed his book and everything
So,
beforehand.
Not trying to be threatening at all, but still very much like aware. I'm going to step around to stand between him and Kieran.
Okay.
My
Awesome.
weapon's still out, but not like in both hands. I'm ready for a fight.
Okay, awesome. So you're kind of like in that posture, getting yourself ready for whatever it is that might come next. Gather myself. Stolly, you lose your turn this round, of course.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know we were still in turn order.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, that's just for it. Yeah. Karen,
Yeah.
with advantage. Can you roll me 2 91s, please?
No.
Don't fuck this up.
Okay, you roll a
Oh
3.
my god. Action point.
Wait.
Jesus Christ.
The thing is that, like, Kieran
you-
is so chaotic, she gets a lot of action points because she just fucks things up anyway. So
That's true.
what's
Kieran, you pull your minds. Finally, your mind rips through all that control is over everybody. Once again, it's almost like you let out a huge jolt of electricity through your entire body, scrambling every muscle in your body, and once again giving your brain the ability to pull back the like a shocking grasp to yourself, to pull back the control of your nervous system. You have your turn. Once again, you were able to perceive everything that was going on around you, even if it was through like tearing up eyes because they were pained from the way that you were holding still. Not health point pain, just pain. You're able to see the way that everything played out, including Stalbor's reactions. But, Karen, you play you.
I will prepare an action to cast a 2nd level chromatic orb, and I'll just stare at the guy and I say, "Do that again! I'm gonna blast your face."
Correct.
If he does it again, he won't be able to blast his face.
You can see his head turns ever so slightly as he notes the fact that you've regained control of yourself, but then he like brings his attention back to, it's one of those like, looks away for a second, then back. It's back to Stolly Boy, because he doesn't do anything on his turn. He's just standing there and waiting. Stolly Boy, you come back right after you kind of like stop that chaotic motion from happening. Finally, obviously a bit scrambled, but you are yourself again, please.
Stalbor just nods.
Okay. And he says to you in your minds, know what? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. As a matter of fact, what happens is he stops for a second. Like when you nod, he like seems to be. He like looks at you with. You can tell it's respect, maybe. I don't know. His features are a little different, so it's hard to read them. You're bad at reading humanoids in general, but you like no, okay. I'm pretty sure it's respect or understanding is what he's looking at me with, and so all of a sudden you start to smell something different. Similar to Kieran, it's salt water, but not the salt water of your childhood. Instead, it's the open sea that you can smell, not from a beach, not from where you grew up, but where you spent much of your recent years. Not too recent, but recent enough, with someone of significance, and the sun beating down on you. Like you get these memories based off just this one smell that you have of the open sea. Moving on, you as you get that, all of a sudden he looks at you and he speaks to you in Aranel, like with perfect diction and accent and whatnot. He speaks to you in your native tongue, saying to you, she must forget, otherwise she becomes a danger, and things will be let out. Now this is an Aranel, so if anybody here speaks Elven, you would get an accented version of that, but you would be able to understand what he's saying.
He, ironically, like elvish, like elves are very slow, but I imagine Aranel is quite fast. You got a lot of things to say. And just shake his head. This isn't her focus. This isn't why she's here. You will just kill yourself trying to forget her, and then how much more dangerous would it be without you? I can take care of her. I know what to do now. I know what my focus is.
Make me a persuasion roll.
I'm that persuasive. Yeah, I'm not that persuasive. I'm not even going to use an action point.
He says to you in Aranel now, out loud, he says, you couldn't stop her now.
I didn't try hard enough. I didn't know the consequences. Now I know.
You have feelings for her. She is significance to you. But this goes beyond your feelings or your life or mine or that of the person that would replace me should I no longer be here. This goes beyond all of us, and it's for all of us. She must forget, because she's the kind of person that when the great wheels realign this life or the next, she would return because it was a whim.
No.
She's too close to the storm.
Here's the thing. I don't understand how it is for you. I don't understand what all of this is yet. It'll require centuries of meditation. But what I do understand is that if this is true, and I know it is, the only thing that matters now is what we have, is our memories, is who we are. You might be able to use your magics to protect the world, and maybe I will too. But what right now matters to us is what we are, and if you take that away, then all of these people will slay you. And I know you don't care about yourself.
I take nothing.
Maybe you care about your people.
I take nothing of who you are, just the memory of this place.
She won't say yes.
One doesn't have to be willing.
He looks at Kieran. Like,
Who's understanding all of this, by the way?
Of course. I as a GM know that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She needs to be willing. She did all this just because you closed your door on her.
It's true.
No.
It's so true.
And into that he says, and you make my point with that very line.
He's not like even trying to stop him at this point. He's just trying to like argue.
Do you
But
know
not
why
like-
I followed you out despite the dangers I know that you described to me? Do you know why I attempted to steal you from here? It's not because I don't care about your plight or understand the dangers of the creature that you were referring to. It's because when she stood that close to the seal, I could feel it react. It could feed off of the madness in her mind. She is not a sane one. She is a danger, and she cannot know that this place exists. Because if she does, and chooses to return, with good intent or ill, she could cause that to be real.
Well, let me talk to her.
Luke is gonna turn to Reich in Goblin, just be like, "What are they talking about?"
I'll say in Elvish. I won't come back to this fucking voodoo
You're
place.
muted, Eric.
Happy? Oh no.
No, you
No,
Aaron.
she was-
Not,
she was-
not Aaron, Eric, yeah.
I say it back to him in Goblin. I don't know, but if he takes a step towards Kieran, I'm fighting. I
I've
look
got
at
your
him.
back.
I nod.
Yeah, get the nod.
At that point, Stalbo will walk towards the three of them, put his hands on Kieran's cheeks, like this.
Like this.
You're fucked up.
And in Elvish still, it's like, I don't expect you to understand.
Salvor,
And I know
will
you want
kill
to
him.
say, I know you want to say no.
I'm not
But this is beyond us.
going to say no.
You're not going to say no, you're going to throw lightning at him.
Well, yeah. Actually, I'm going to try fire at this point. Thinking
Which I believe in
Swamp on fire.
Primordio might be no. I can't describe. I just. You just have to let this happen, I suppose. And sometimes there are things in life that, even if they're terrible, they need to happen.
No.
Yeah, I knew you would say that. And I'm not surprised. And he turns around and looks to the creature. It's like, you can try. And then walks away from the three of them.
I am gonna change my prepared action from chromatic orb to fog cloud, by the way.
Of course. So, when you say that and you say try and walk away, he looks Stalbor in the eyes, and then with his own eyes, kind of guides them out and across through some tree cover and whatnot. And Stalbor kind of like, I imagine, following his eyes to what he's looking out there. You see that the 4 orcish druids are not still inside the cave. At least 3 of them are out here and very much within range. And he kind of goes back to your eyes and gives you like a knowing look. And with that, we are going to take our first break of Eberron into the
so
woods.
tense.
Into the woods. See you in a couple minutes.